Oh no. Boys and girls, it is July 31st, 2020. I hear Trump is trying to delay the election, or is he joking? We don't know. Anyway, we'll see if that happens. Weather report. We got a lot of things going on. There's the DuckOx Smoky thing that we have to look into deeply, and that kind of dovetails with the Jackson wheat debate. The inexplicable Jackson wheat versus Smokey debate. I have no idea why Jackson, I suppose. Anyway, I think they both had a good time. Let's take a look at my screen. Try to get through this. We'll share. We have a bigger font. I hope that's, let's go up one more notch. How's that? Hey, hell, we can see that. I'm just worried that, I might be doxing the hell out of myself somewhere, but I think, well, that bridge is sailed. Anyway, so yesterday I did a weather report, and then Random Evo Times is like a biology simulation game site. I noticed Dapper Dino is in their comments. There's like a little kid that reads, like game things. I wish somebody would tell me what the hell's up with that. They put a video out yesterday, but it was taken down, and I think they just review like biology simulation games, which is kind of cool. They could use a few more subscribers. They're about 180, I think. Then, of course, in chronological order, the Rage, in anticipation of his talk with the Mad Ducks, the Mad DuckOx. I'm going to call him DuckOx, I think, because I like my name. But Rage is trying to rename him, and, Rage usually gets his way with that sort of thing. God damn it, I like the Maddox. Modern Day Debate started a premiere that was very interesting. Let's see, where is it here? Why controversial? Okay, Steven Pinker was on. He had a little clip of him talking about why controversial debates are needed. And I think they were talking about political correctness, and that's always a hot button. That's something we all ought to have a decent conversation about, because Steven Pinker studies language and consciousness and a number of other topics. Very, very worthwhile to read his books. But when our language, the language that we communicate with, takes center stage, I think we got a problem. I think we got some shit we better work out. I don't know. Anyway, I would watch that. I'm not sure why James put that up there. T-Jump uploaded a video from yesterday's debate, I think, and that was about Jesus drowning babies. And that was a morality debate, which seems to be the hot button here this week. Dapper Dino started a premiere. The GeoRock file. Okay, it was on geology and time and Dr. Tasman Walker. And that is really, it's short. It's about 18 minutes long. Very much worth watching. We have Steve Baumann. Well, okay, we had Modern Day Debate. Steve Baumann uploaded a video on Rock Show and Tell. Steve Ballman's videos are very good to listen to. I mean, if you believe in a 6,000-year-old Earth, you got to open your mind just a crack and go listen to Steve Baumann and watch all of his videos. And he does quite a few of them. They're very informal, but very good, very informative. And then Praise.im had testimonies of Christians, some sort of basically avalanche of, oh, my buddy died and then he can't, like George Bond, is it? Or no, who is it? Jason Ezard. I think his buddy died of heroin and came back a year and a half later. Or no, an hour and a half later. So he was dead for an hour and a half, so he came to life, and people believe a lot of things. And testimonies are really interesting, and the things that people go through and how they interpret them over time. There is an amazing conversation to be had there. So then we had the debate. Then we had Guts at Given going live for an after debate show with Smokey and Jackson Wheat. Then the Rage had his conversation with John Maddox. Get into that a little bit. And then Smoky Saint did a after show after the Rage and Maddox. This morning, Arn Ra uploaded a video. Let's see, debate, does the soul exist? And this was with Eric Hernandez, who makes, bless his little heart, he makes a case constantly about, how the mind cannot be physical, and his arguments are just horrible. I mean, he uses one book basically as one philosophy book that he knows really well, and it's about the soul. And someday we will delve deeper into that. But I'm not sure if Arn Ra is the one to talk about philosophy of the mind, but that is worth checking out. And then Eric Hernandez uploaded another video. It's right here. And that was Calvinist versus non-Calvinist on free will. And it's more of the same. Let's see, testimonies of Christians. I don't think I popped that one up. Anyway, more of Eric Hernandez, who's somebody to keep an eye on, I think. Watch him kind of like you would watch, like if you had a possum trying to break into your house or something like that through the cat door, you would keep an eye on that little sucker. And I think Eric Hernandez is kind of like that. You have to keep an eye on. But now, the Mad Ducks. So the Rage did a thing on John Maddox. Logically Probably Impotent, I think, is what he named his channel. And I kind of like that one. And he got that name from somebody. Anyway, he explains all that. Anticipates his discussion, which occurred at midnight last night with the Maddox. And we have, let's see, conversation. And then we had his conversation with John, which happened at midnight. And then we had Smoky and Mad Ducks talking afterwards. I think Mad Ducks had to go to sleep, had to get up early. So he talked a little bit with Smoky, and Smoky went on. There were some interesting things. There's an interesting connection with Smoky and Mad Ducks. And Maddox is kind of moving away from genetics, it seems. He hasn't been talking about it quite so much. So his association with Smoky has kind of got him into apologetics or whatever in the hell it is that they do. But it seems to me to be a really toxic combination of two assholes, to be frank. They're both assholes in their own way. Smoky is a snake-like asshole. He kind of slithers up slowly and it's kind of like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then bang, he strikes. Interesting. Maddox is in your face from the very beginning, and he loves to be in people's face. He strikes me as the kind of person, if you were in a bar with him, and I understand he's a tall guy, I think you would end up in a physical fight within 5 minutes. If you just talk to the guy. That's just how he strikes me. He ends up in a verbal fight in 5 minutes. And when he goes on, when he is on with Rage, I think he shows his true colors. Pretty interesting. Then there was a debate last night with Jackson Wheat and Smoky. Inexplicable, I think. Smoky doesn't know anything about genetics, and this debate made that very obvious. But he's trying, which is cool. He wants to learn the science. And the problem with creationists is that they think they can learn the science from other creationists. And they're afraid to read textbooks because, of course, textbooks are biased with our worldview and all that. And then they read papers, and, of course, they can only read the abstract and cherry-pick quotes because all the papers are biased with our worldview. So they're never going to learn the science. And the science is why people believe in evolution, because they read textbooks, they read about chemistry, and they read what molecules can do. So they have some basic understanding of what information is in DNA and what it means and what it doesn't mean. Creationists have this singular idea that information is somehow this upward motion of evolution where things get better, stronger, faster, smarter, more human-like, or whatever. To them, that's information, and they insist, oh, that can't be randomly created. Well, DNA, GCTA, when it mutates, becomes just more GCTA. It doesn't rust. It doesn't lose information. It just becomes different information. And they confuse something called Shannon information, which is the study of basically the unknown quantities in a string of information. They confuse that with some sort of idea they have in their head about functional information. And they see DNA as being a blueprint to create one of God's little machines. So somehow the embryo reads the blueprint and says, oh, I'm going to put a finger here, and I'm going to put a heart there. I'll put this here. And to them, that's information. It's like this like if you imagine a God genie engineer sitting down and working out a plan, and he's going to build a machine, and it's got gears, and it's we have to put it all together, and they call that functional information. Of course, they think every single letter in the genome is somehow part of that clever little blueprint to create an organism, and any mutation at all is going to be bad. Well, I got to ask them, if it's 100% functional, why aren't we dead after our cells divide, 27 times? I don't know, because there's mutations in your body. It's called somatic mutations. Why doesn't that kill us if everything is functional? Obviously, as you grow older, like a year old, you're going to have a hell of a lot of mutations. The blueprint isn't going to be there. Things aren't going to function. The little gears in their machines are going to start to break down. I don't know what they think. That is worth hashing out in a boring talk on one of our little hangouts on our channel, getting into information and explaining to them why mutations can create new function. Something they can't get through their tiny little... Well, they have tiny little heads, but they have thick skulls. I don't know how that works out. But anyway, trying to explain it to them is difficult. They seldom give you a chance. But anyway, these debates, I am so busy. I have trouble digging deeper and analyzing them and watching every debate. But this one was good, and it was friendly between Jackson and Smoky. And then, of course, Erica Gibbon did an after show with Peter D. Tucker, Jackson, Dr. Dan, the Dapper Dinosaur, T.D. Lane, and I think a few others joined later on. I'm not sure who else joined. Let's see what else happens. That is worth watching. I don't know our ideas, but I will check all these out, and maybe I'll have a little commentary later on some of this stuff, particularly the Mad DuckOx and the Smoky connection. That's getting to be kind of a toxic force, I think. I don't care for arrogance. I don't care for like violent verbalization. And Maddox and Smoky are both very, very good at this stuff. Smoky, he's kind of like a genius at delivering it, because he has a really great voice, and he's really friendly, and he sounds really rational. And then he just turns up the heat and, comes down on you. And it's kind of an interesting dynamic to see the two of them together. Wow. Anyway, I think that is about all that's going on. There were some other things that happened yesterday concerning our channel that we're not going to tell you about yet. We're going to sneak up on you. Standing for Truth, Raw Matt, Mad Ducks. Something's got to be done. Creationists on the YouTube have a platform. They have a platform where they're reaching tons of people. And there are a hell of a lot of them, and their content, because they don't have to actually worry about researching anything. All they need to do is put up little paper headings, boom, 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 make their crappy argument based on what you've just seen, sound overconfident, and convince people of this pseudoscience that they're putting out. And we have to do something to counter that kind of misinformation. And I don't know how to do it, because if we put out decent science content, that's going to go to one crowd. If we put out criticisms of the creationist model and the stuff that they're putting out, it's going to be a little bit boring. Nobody's going to watch that. I guess if we call them names, call them idiots, and pepper our stuff with entertaining violent verbalism, maybe we'll get more views. People will watch it. Maybe some of it'll soak in. It's a something that we're trying to figure out what kind of channel we want to be. And so, like anything, we're evolving, and it's going to evolve. But God, we the other thing is we need help. We need foot soldiers. We need people working on putting out content, like Dr. Dan, really great at putting out little short creation myths takedowns. But then he'll put something out, and Standing for Truth and Raw Matt the next day will put their bullshit out and seem to take it down. And then, of course, you have to respond to that. There aren't enough of us, and there isn't. We have to research everything. I have trouble even starting to talk about this stuff until I really know my shit. And I constantly have this, I don't know that part. I don't know that part. And I hate to talk about anything unless I know it. There's a gene family, a protein domain family. I think it's called HUP. And yesterday I ran into it, and it's like, I don't know what that is. And so then I went out and I started trying to I wanted to say something. I wanted to do something using this paper, but then because I didn't know the exact amino acid sequence of this domain and I couldn't find it, I wasn't prepared to start talking about it because I don't know so much, I don't know. But we got to get started. What the hell? So anyway, I hope my audio actually worked this time. So I'm going to end this, guys, and we're going to hopefully do some other things today. And let's see, I'm meeting some people, and I'm hoping to have a few of them on my channel. So Amy Newman is one of them. I really hope I can talk to Amy. Anyway, later, guys.